Get away from me. See, these are words that a specific woman got so used to hearing. She was so used to being rejected. She was so used to being gossiped about. If she went to the well, people would see her coming, and they knew that if she would touch them, they too would be made unclean for the rest of the day. If she went to the marketplace and sat down on a seat, whoever would follow after her and sit down on the same seat would also be made unclean for the rest of the day. This woman was afflicted with an issue of blood, and for 12 years she suffered with this. Now, I don't know what you are facing. I don't know what is afflicting you. I don't know what you are struggling with. But you see, this woman, she sought after help from physician after physician, and she spent all her money trying to be made well. But she was looking in all the wrong places. But one day she heard of a man. No one spoke to her. She lacked affection for 12 years. Nobody came to visit her. Nobody sat with her, because they knew that if they touched her, they too would be unclean. But she heard that this man, this healer, was going around and walking the streets, and blind people could see, and deaf can hear, and lame can stand up and walk, if only he would touch them. But you see, there was a desperation in her heart, and she just thought, according to the law, he's not going to touch me, because if he touches me, he too will be unclean. But she saw this man walking through the crowd, and the Bible says that there were multitudes around Jesus. As he was walking, he was on a mission to heal Jairus' daughter. Multitudes were there thronging up against him, touching him from every side, walking with Jesus, excited to see, is Jairus' daughter going to be made well? But this woman hid in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity. Inside of her heart, in one moment, a thought came, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. But she was afraid, because if anyone in the crowd would notice her, they would send her back home. Don't touch me. Courage rose up in her heart, and she ran forward and she touched the hem of Jesus' garment. Now everyone was touching Jesus, but Jesus stopped. And in that moment he said, who touched me? The people around him marveled, because they said, but Lord, everyone's touching you. How can you say who touched me? But you see, it wasn't any touch. It was a touch of desperation. It was a touch with faith that, Lord, I need a miracle. And in that moment, Jesus turns around. The woman, fear rose up inside of her heart, because she was so scared that she was going to hear those words that she's heard for 12 years. Don't touch me. But Jesus looked at her. She was on the floor in fear and trembling. Lord, this is what happened. When I touched you, I was healed. I was afflicted for 12 years, but I touched you and I was healed. Jesus looks at her with a look that she hasn't seen for 12 years. He looks at her and says, my daughter, your faith has made you well. Now, I don't know what you are suffering with. I don't know what you are afflicted with inside. I don't know what you've been seeking help for in all the wrong places and spending your money and wasting your time. But I want you to open your heart, because Jesus is ready to touch and restore and heal you. He loves you.